Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Some lost a child.
What my wife said. She put her head in her hands and it said, "Not my baby boy."
Some lost a brother or sister.
A creature who left Hannah lying in her own pool of blood, crying in pain, who went to go shoot her again, does not deserve to take another breath.
Some took bullets and lost their sense of security.
As I laid on the floor, I attempted to get up, but my legs weren't moving.
Today, as the Oxford school shooter was sentenced to life without parole, dozens bravely stepped forward with personal stories of what he took and what he failed to take.
The memory of you raising your gun to me and the scar on my arm may exist, but I will continue to live a life full of the human experience.
And we thank you for being here with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Devon Fernandez in for Devin Skillian. When the judge handed down the sentence, the feeling for almost everyone in that court was simply relief.
Yeah, the sentence of life with no chance of parole, a measure of justice for Hannah St. Juliana, Justin Schilling, Tate Meir, and Madison Baldwin, and for those who were wounded and survived. When the shooter had a chance to speak, he said he was sorry. But we here at Channel 4, we're going to keep the focus on the victims and their families tonight. Sean Lee is live at the Oakland County Circuit Court with reaction to this sentence. Sean, good evening.
Well, good evening to you. We'll start with reaction from the Oakland County prosecutor. So much on the line here. Her and her team doing the job month after month here, building this case against the shooter. They didn't want any issues that might go to appeal or might result in the sentence that they did not want. So much pressure on them. Let's get instant reaction now from that sentence from Karen McDonald, the Oakland County prosecutor.
No one's celebrating. It's not a moment to celebrate. It's tragic, and the voices today, I think, profoundly show that.
Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald and her team reacting after the Oxford school shooter, as a juvenile, was sentenced to life in prison without parole. That is something that rarely happens, and prosecutors worked to state their case, and the judge agreed.
We are comforted that there is some sense of peace and closure.
The shooter telling Judge Kwame Rowe that he wanted that sentence to give the family some sense of safety, knowing he's not coming out. Judge Rowe using his voice almost like a gavel, forcefully bringing down his sentence.
Sentences of the court is that defendant shall serve life without the possibility of parole.
Craig Schilling's son, Justin, was shot and killed by the shooter.
We feel that justice is getting there. There's still a lot of accountability, and there's still so much that needs to be addressed.
Back here live at the courts building in Oakland County. At the beginning of this, of course, the shooter had written that he wanted to see the suffering. That was on display today. Absolutely gut-wrenching. At the end, though, everyone's eyes were fixed on the judge and his words, and you could feel that relief out of the courtroom. At least this small chapter, in a way, closed, but the families live with this every single day. We're live in Oakland County tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
It is so difficult still, all 2 years later. Sean, we appreciate your reporting today, and it was a very long day as more than a dozen Oxford parents, students, and teachers delivered emotional victim impact statements.
Yeah, the students gave us a closer look at the actual shooting as it unfolded and the impact it's still having on their lives. Local 4's Rod Maloney joins us live with that part of the story. Hey there, Rod.
Yeah, good evening, Devon. You know, it's one of those things where the students who were actually shot at had a chance to talk about their experience and what that has meant to them, and many say their lives are completely changed forever.
I was just shot, and I thought I was gonna die. As I laid on the floor, I attempted to get up, but my legs weren't moving. I repeatedly hit my legs with my hands like this in an attempt to regain any kind of feeling, but not a single thing.
As horrifying as that was, things turned even worse when she realized her close friend, Hannah St. Juliana, lay dying right next to her.
I reached my hand over my head, and I realized it was Hannah. I could hear her groaning beside me. Realizing that I wasn't alone, I kept trying to reassure her. Someone will come help us. Don't worry. Just keep breathing. Just please stay with me. I said that to her 1,000 times.
Hannah's sister, Raina St. Juliana, told the judge her life will never be the same without her sister.
Instead of speaking at her wedding, I spoke at her funeral. Instead of fishtailing her hair for a game, I curled her hair in a casket. Doesn't matter if I go to her room to steal her clothes, show her an outfit, or ask for advice. I am met with silence and darkness.
Aiden Watson hobbled from Oxford High, and the shooter that day with a bullet wound in his leg. A nearby business owner picked him up, drove him to a nearby piano moving company. Aiden couldn't believe what happened and said so in court.
I thought it was a senior prank, but by the time I realized, I was staring at Tate Mir, and he was shot and he died. I tried to run into my classroom. I didn't know I got shot until my friend told me I was hit. And he said that we needed to get out of there.
Another life inextricably altered, Riley Friends says her college experience is non-existent.
Now when I sit at a school, I feel anxious, checking for all my exits, highly in tune with all movements inside and outside the classroom, flinching at every sound, from the walking upstairs to a pencil dropping, and counting down the minutes until I feel that I can breathe again.
Her experience was shared by others who said that they still suffer that kind of a problem. And Kylie Osage, the young woman that you heard in the beginning here, said that she's had back surgery. She had been riding horses her entire life, can't do that anymore. And in fact, many physical activities are beyond her because of the pain that she experiences and all the back surgeries that she's had. The impact of this shooting is immense, and it will not soon be forgotten. Reporting live in Pontiac, Rod Maloney.
So very true. Okay, Rod, we appreciate your report this evening.
And we encourage you to take a look at our coverage on clickondetroit.com, where you can view the full video of today's hearing. All the coverage is right on the homepage.
Paul Whelan is calling out the White House for failing to bring him home from Russia, where he's been held for nearly 5 years on suspicion of spying. In a new statement put out by his family today, Whelan says he's given up hope of ever seeing his elderly parents again and believes he'll die as a Russian prisoner. He says, quote, "The Russians have ruined my life, one that is destined to end in a slave labor camp fraught with intolerable conditions for no reason other than a hatred of human rights and freedoms." He goes on to say the unconscionable act of leaving me behind twice now has devalued my life in these people's minds. The Russian government does nothing to ensure my safety. What will happen next? Whelan ends by saying, quote, "President Biden, I have paid a high price for being an American citizen. A promise is a promise. The clock is ticking on getting this done. Please bring me home," end quote. It has been 1 year since the prisoner swap that brought Brittany Griner home but left Paul Whelan behind. We learned this past week that Russia continues to reject offers from the U.S. for Whelan and journalist Evan Gershkovich.
For many, the holidays are a popular time to add a pet to the family. Well, unfortunately, the internet has made it far too easy for scammers to exploit people, especially when it comes to puppies. As Paula Tutman reports, the Attorney General is trying to crack down, but there are some steps everyone should take to protect themselves.
To be clear, we're not saying that every single online operation is a scam. What we are saying is that based on the numerous investigations our own Hank Winchester and the Help Me Hank Consumer Unit has done, and the fact that the Attorney General talks about this every single year this time of year, we're saying there is a cautionary tale that needs to be told. This is not a one-off. In fact, our Hank Winchester and the Help Me Hank Consumer Unit has told us tale after tale of puppy scams.
It's very violating. It's like I never thought I would fall victim to something so stupid as this, you know.
It gets particularly bad during the holidays. People want puppies. Scammers like things the easy way. It's the perfect storm for consumers who don't do their homework.
We want people to be extra careful and make sure that they do their due diligence, do their research.
Ideally, prospective buyers should eyeball the sellers. In person is best. Virtual meetings, second best. But even then, there's more due diligence that's needed.
That you're not paying extra fees that are involved in terms of the shipment of that animal, and that you're not using Venmo or Cash App or some other type of payment where in the event that you do get scammed, you can't get your money back.
And keep in mind the health of the animal, whether it's a puppy, a kitten, an iguana, or any living being. The condition of the animal needs to be ascertained, checked, and then double-checked before any exchange of money.
We want to make sure that you get all the paperwork that's involved in the treatment of that animal to make sure that you can keep, yourself safe and your animal safe as well.
And don't forget, there are thousands of animals at local shelters and rescue operations that want your love, not your money. And then you can see for yourself what you're getting. At the end of the day, it is your money, plain and simple. But there are people out there who would just love to separate you from your hard-earned dollars. And so probably the most important thing you can really think about is don't want something so badly you're willing to possibly even be scammed to get it. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Control that impulse, and sometimes it's so hard because they are so cute, the little puppies and kittens. But great advice there from Paula Tutman tonight. All right, we taking a live look at downtown Campus Martius with the tree there, beautiful tree, and folks skating around. Doing a lot better than I would do out there. Let's head over to Kim Adams and the forecast.
I know. I mean, there's so many. They must just be like professionals or something, because it's
a Friday night.
Right? Exactly. We've got temperatures right now that are well above normal for this time of year. We should be at 39. Right now we're at 52 downtown, 50 in Howell and in Pontiac, and 52 in Adrian. Exact Track 40 radar, we had some clouds move in this afternoon, but so far all is dry here in Metro Detroit. So if you're headed out this evening, no need to worry about any rain. Overnight tonight, though, we could get a few spotty showers. 50 in Pontiac, upper 40s in Mount Clemens, 52 in Monroe and at Metro, and 51 out in Ann Arbor. Tomorrow, spotty showers throughout the day, especially in the morning hours. Near record-breaking temperatures, possibly even record-breaking temperatures. Our record is 58, and we could get to 59. It's not out of the question tomorrow, but we do have those spotty showers to go along with it. Then everything changes on Sunday in a pretty dramatic way. Sunday's high is only 41, and we could even get a little light snow or flurries. So we'll talk about that coming up.
New at 6.
We have Rory, we have our own Kim Adams, and so many of you that have made your way here to Southgate to help us with our big Help Me Hank Toys for Tots drive. Wait till you see the major impact you helped make.
The future of television has arrived. It's super cool. It's now available in Detroit, and the service is, wait for it, free.
I'll walk you through everything you need to know to get next-gen TV and what you need to look for when you're buying a new TV, and tell you how your favorite programs are going to look so much cooler. Even the news, well, Local 4 News, because what else are you watching? They're going to look so much more entertaining.
The future of television, Monday at 5:45 on Local 4 News.